Everyone. This is Amar Siddiqui, your host today. In this session, make money as a freelancer on Upwork. While I'm still waiting for the guest to join in, Faiza Yousuf. Hopefully, she will join in soon. We will start talking about Upwork specifically. But as I'm still waiting for her to join in, why don't we talk about the freelancing ecosystem and try to find out exactly what are some of the things we should be doing to make some money as a freelancer. So share with me, where are you joining in from, and are you a freelancer, and do you make money online, or you are interested in making money online? Because today we will have an amazing guest, and she's going to share with us some of the interesting things that she has been doing on Upwork particularly. But overall, what the freelancing ecosystem is like, what are the things that work, that don't work, and I can see her now. So we will quickly invite her, and let's keep it in English and Urdu. So those people who um, do not understand Urdu or Hindi can also join the session and pick some things from the session. Hello, Faiza. How are you? Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, I'm good. Walaikum Assalam. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much for joining in. I know it's evening in Pakistan where you're joining in from, but what a great opportunity it is for all of us, for me as well, to learn from you because you have been doing some excellent work um, on Upwork specifically, and this session, this podcast can help a lot of people who really do not understand or struggle into their freelancing careers. So, very briefly, I would request you to please tell us. Well, I know you well, but tell the audience, where are you coming from, what you do, and how did you land into an exciting career as a freelancer.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hamad Saab. So I started my career as a technologist, as a software engineer. I have 2 degrees in software engineering from NED University here in Karachi. I hopped a lot of jobs in the first few years of my career because I was unable to find the right place to work and the right kind of team. Uh, Eventually, I started consulting full time in 2014, and after that, shortly after that, I was reached out by a friend of mine. You must have known her, Maria Omar. She
Yes.
had an agency on Upwork, and she asked me that would you want to join that agency, and we'll help you kickstart your career on Upwork. And I said yes to her. I started working with her business manager, and within 2 or 3 months, I started working from there. She basically phased out from the agency. The agency is still there on Upwork, but it's not very active. But my solo career on Upwork took off. And after that, I got a lot of opportunities with Upwork itself. So I was part of their social impact report. I was also part of a few commercials that they did about COVID, and then a few other campaigns that they have run over the years about, working from home and freelance opportunities.
Okay. So, did I mean, what are some specific niche that you cover in your journey as a freelancer?
Yeah. So my main area is technology product development. So, for example, you see a lot of apps, and we are using a software product right now. So I basically help companies build those products by working as a product management consultant. I usually work with a lot of startups and businesses, small businesses who wants to either build technology or adopt some kind of technology, and my job is to make sure that the transition happens. So from helping companies to implement ERPs to basically building products from scratch. These are the areas that I work in. In that, I work most of the times. I'm working on requirement engineering, process optimization, product strategy. A lot of times it's marketing. Depending upon user research is one of the biggest area that I work in. So it depends on what the client needs and is looking for.
Awesome. So as you know, I worked in corporate sector for so many years with British government first and with the American economic not for profit for 14 years. When I came to Canada, like finally settled in Canada in 2019, I thought, Ahmad, you have done enough of this corporate rut that you have, traveling and doing so many other things around your career. So why not experiment with this freelancing? A lot of people think that they are late in freelancing or entering late in the career. To me, I think freelancing is just such a fascinating field that there is no age barrier, age bracket. If you can do a job and if you know how to communicate and how to work with your clients, you can do freelancing. So here, what I wanted to share is a few people who have just shared what they are doing. So Sher Khan is from Hunza. So from all the way from Hunza, he's freelancing in accounting, financing, and we have Noiman Shirazi, who is a highly experienced professional. He was my client in 2020, and we worked on his profile. And let's see what he has got another message too. I'm currently Lahore. All right, so he has so fantastic, connect with Faeza, and she'll be able to help you steer through. See, again, you have a tool like what I say is okay. Freelancing tools, there's so many: Fiverr, Upwork, and there are many others. I would say Google Ads freelancing tool. If you are on YouTube, that's a freelancing tool. If you're on Facebook, that's a freelancing tool. TikTok, whatever. For me, LinkedIn is a great freelancing tool because I don't have to pay anything to anyone. If I'm on LinkedIn and if I'm connecting with the client directly, I can build a one-on-one relationship, and a lot of people miss out on that opportunity as well. But you need to really know what you are best at, and that based on that, find the right tool that can help you. How did you land on Upwork? Why not on Fiverr or any other platform?
I was familiar with Upwork before Maria asked me, and in my head, Fiverr was mostly for gigs, and the kind of work that I do is not gig specific. So my project commitments are long term. So usually hourly projects, or even if fixed price projects, they last quite a while. So 6 months, 8 months, a year is a usual span in which a company takes a decision for building a product or adopting a product. So I landed on Upwork, and after starting my work on Upwork, then I went to Fiverr, and I realized that I landed on the right platform. Upwork was the right platform for the kind of work that I do. But if you are a designer, if you are a writer, Fiverr is also an excellent platform, and it has a lot of opportunity. Fiverr also have a low barrier to entry. Upwork has a comparatively higher barrier to entry, but both are great platforms. At the end of the day, it depends on the kind of work that you want to do. So if your work is more strategic, more consulting based, and the work requires you to charge the client hourly, then Upwork would be the best platform for that. Otherwise, Fiverr can work really well for people, especially if they are looking for a side hustle, because on Upwork you will find a lot of projects that turn into full-time or part-time consulting opportunities. On Fiverr, if you just want to, work a few hours a week and just deliver a few projects, then I think Fiverr would be the right platform for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Noiman Saab, what you need to do is to explore Upwork and maybe speak to Faiza, and she'll be able to, if she has time, will be able to give you some insights. But Upwork really works well, and I would still think for someone like you at your capacity and capabilities, LinkedIn could be your friend because with the service page. LinkedIn service page and your own community that you can build around your own profession, you can actually deliver some excellent projects to your clients using LinkedIn, because people are looking for services, and they would like to work. So what I felt is that client would like to work literally on a one-on-one basis, and at times what I feel. So I started experimenting with Fiverr some time ago, and what put me off was uh, the um, the process they adopt. So I had a toolkit available on Fiverr, which I actually created, and one of the clients gave a very bad review of the toolkit, and just with that bad review, they stopped showing my toolkit to anyone. So they marked it so badly, and so I said, why should I depend on a platform if I can do it otherwise also? So you need to really evaluate what you do the best. For instance, in your case, consulting, which is mostly related to technology space, uh, or any such consulting business, Upwork is definitely a place to look at. So, what are some of the mistakes, Faiza, usually people make when they start their freelancing career, and some mistakes specific to Upwork as well? People, you think they should really be watch out for?
Hmm. So the most important thing that you need to think about is, do you have enough time? Because freelancing is not something that you do on the side. You one day get up and become a freelancer, and the next day you are not. It's a game of long haul. So you need to definitely have enough time to explore the platform, to build your profile, to build your portfolio, to keep on updating your proposals and cover letters. If you're on Fiverr, then updating your gigs, and then constantly optimizing your profile to ensure that when people look for certain type of talent, they land on your profile. So the same way as we do for blogs or for websites, that we optimize them as per keywords, the same happens when we are on Upwork and Fiverr, that you need to optimize your profile. So having enough time to do that initially, because it is a lot of work upfront. I teach freelancing with a non-profit and a for-profit organization. In both areas, we make sure that whoever is coming to the platform to learn freelancing have enough time to do that. If you don't have time, if you have a full-time job, if you have care work responsibilities, then it will become really difficult for you to break in. So time A, and then B, charging very low. So thinking about freelancing as the work that is being done in pennies, so you know that people do work for cheap. They do it for $5 or $6 or $7, so you should do the same also. Absolutely not. So a lot of people make this mistake, that they start charging their clients way too low, and then it becomes very difficult for them to make ends meet at their end, and they keep on just working 24/7 to make sure that they make enough money. And then when it comes for them to upgrade their skill set or upgrade their rate, it becomes difficult because they're constantly working. They don't have time to scale up, and when they don't have time to scale up, there is no way that they can tell the client that, oh, I was charging you $5 an hour, now I'm going to charge you $20 an hour. Doesn't work that way. So do not start too low. Make sure you have plenty of time for investing in your profile, and you may require some initial money investment also. So if you go to Upwork, the profile is free, but for applying to projects and a lot of projects, you will need connects, and those connects come with a plus membership. So initially, you may need to invest 15 to $30 for the first 2 months in the platform, and then from there, once you start getting work, then you can just downgrade to basic profile and go from there.
Uh, Absolutely amazing. So what I gathered is that you have to, and it's like basic entrepreneurial process that you have. You have to have a product, so productize it. What product are you going to offer? What is the shape of that consulting that you are going to offer? How is it going to benefit your client? And based on that, go and price it well. And if you price it too cheaply, you probably are offering a cheap product. So that's kind of a psychology that you have. But of course, don't price it too high. Some of the people can start charging high once they grow, and once they have the clientele that is actually giving them a lot of great recommendation. So so that's the second thing, and then the third thing you said is to spare time. So you have to have that time that you need to invest into your journey as a freelancer. And the fourth one is invest in yourself, upgrade your skills, upgrade your profile by investing money. And this is what I feel is the most striking point you made, Faiza. People do not invest in themselves, particularly in South Asian market. That's what I see because I've got clients from so many countries. Um, they just don't want to. I don't know what the reason is. Very few though. Let's put it. Let's not be very journal on that. A lot of people struggle when you ask them to pay for upgrading their skills. So if you say, okay, if you take this course, it will help you upgrade your skills, and they just don't really comprehend the benefit of taking that course, or a tool which will help them do things in a better manner. Um, so when you coach, what do you tell them?
Yeah, so investing in their skill set is something that you're absolutely right. People here usually don't do, and in my honest opinion, I think even if you don't want to invest money in the, if you know how to use the internet and you are able to invest your time, you can learn anything that you want. There are a million free resources for everything that is available. Uh, but again, the point is, do you have enough time and drive to do that? And when it comes to investing in your skill set, my dad says all the time that you need to spend money to make money. So you need to spend money on yourself to make sure that you're able to charge top up. So you see a lot of consultants and freelancers who have who have gone to very fancy schools or who have done a lot of nano degrees, a lot of very expensive programs. They do it because they know that the return on that investment will be great, and they will be able to make a lot of money out of that. So it's really important to invest in yourself. If you are if you're someone who's starting out and you do not have money to invest in an expensive program, expensive degree, or an expensive course or a workshop, just go to the internet, go to YouTube, find something that you like, and then start from there. I think having the commitment to complete an online course tells a lot about a person's character, because we all just register and buy for a million things, but we never complete them. So in that is another area that I look at. So if somebody comes to one of my coaching programs, either non-profit or for profit, and the person tells me that they have completed like 4 courses on Coursera or Udemy, the person gets a quick pass in, because I know that this person has a drive and the kind of discipline that is required to complete an online program. So it's absolutely imperative for anybody's success. If you want to, if you want, and technology, especially the industry that I work in, you need to upgrade yourself every single day, otherwise you'll be left behind. So absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, at every age, you need to really invest in yourself. And you rightly said there are tons of information available to learn the basics. So nobody can say that I can't do it. And just give you my own example. I when I started like recording my own video courses, and again I start thinking from a very minimalistic level, because I really love this book called Minimalist Entrepreneur by Sahil Lavangia, the founder of Gumroad. That how you need to figure out how you can do it in a minimalistic way. So invest minimalistically, effort minimalistically, reaching out to people minimalistically. How do you do that? So I'm a big fan of that. Uh, and so I started looking. So I need to do editing. I don't want to pay for editing, because if I could do it myself, I have an edge. I can actually work with an editor because now I know how editing is done. And I mean, the fact of the matter is, I am not a technical person, which means that to learn anything a little bit technical at certain age, which I am now, is a little bit more challenge, and that's the truth. So if somebody talks to me about economics or economic reform, I can just go like this and tell people what. But learning technology is often a little bit of a challenge. So I started looking at, like, there are So people suggested me like various tools, free tools and stuff. I don't downloaded some, and I tried to figure out. I could not figure out things. How do you split? How do you do things? In the whole process. But what I did, because I was really looking for an information, I bumped into a video in which, and I did not know that before, that in your Microsoft Office there is a tool called video editor, and that is the simplest video editor built by Microsoft for you, free of cost. And that was the first thing that I started experimenting with. I learned it, and all the videos that I'm doing, I've just embarked upon a very, I would say, ambitious project of doing 30 YouTube videos in 30 days on how people should use LinkedIn. And so far, so good. I've done 18, 12 more to go. I'll probably do more if I could do it. Um, but I'm actually using two basic tools. Well, three, I would say. One is PowerPoint presentation. So create a PowerPoint. Two is Zoom recording. So I just go on Zoom, play the PowerPoint, and record it. I bought a very basic mic from Amazon. It's a collar mic. I use that because of the sound quality, and then I edit using um, a tool which is a free tool on Microsoft. And by combining these four things, I'm actually producing content which will bring in credibility and trust. Ultimately, what I want to say is that you don't have to be very expensive, but you have to invest something. So what I did, I invested in learning. I invested my time in learning. I could go out and do a 6 months training program and become an editor. I didn't want to become an editor as such, but I just wanted to know. The other interesting point you made is that this information which is available on particularly YouTube, there are tutorials available. I'm putting out tutorials. However, one of the interesting downside which I figured out myself is that these tutorials, a lot of these tutorials are not current. So you learn something which was done like 5 years ago, 3 years ago, and as you rightly said, technology and the processes are changing too fast. So when you're learning without paying anything, then there is a danger that you will learn something which is outdated. But you will still learn something, so that's a good point. The other thing is that uh, I'm a big fan of structured learning program, Faeza. That's why you do a training program. That's why I do a training program. Because what structured learning does is to take you or handhold you from the basics to the next level and to the next level and to the next level. And this is how you do your university. This is how you do your diploma programs or college programs. Not everything is dumped at you because you won't be able to take it. Gradually build your capabilities and skills, and you do things. So that's what structured learning would do. And often structured learning comes with a bit of investment. So uh, to cut the long story short, I've already spoken for a while, but I just wanted to share with those whoever is joining in and will join in later on, this great session that we are doing is to learn and invest in yourself, because when you invest you can reap profit. Without investment you cannot reap profits. We have some more people who are, well, a couple of questions. And so for instance, this person, whoever is this person is, LinkedIn user, I can't see your profile, so your profile is hidden. I don't know who you are. You need to fix the settings. Video editor in Microsoft. Yes, there is one, and that's the simplest possible video editor you can have. You can add some, uh, you can add things onto it. You can't do much, but it's decent enough to create a course even. Um, Thank you very much, Irshad. For if you have any questions, please ask. And I have this Abdullah is my student, right? He is a young fellow who loves experimenting. He's just one of the most phenomenal students I have I have had in the past several months. Abdullah, thanks for your question. Very good question. Best tips to stand out in Upwork proposal.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's a very good question. If you want to stand out in your Upwork proposal, the first thing is to make sure that you have read the job post properly, and then you do not send out a cookie cutter proposal, but basically write one on the spot. So you can create templates or formats for yourself, but at the end of the day, you need to make sure that your proposal is tailored for what client is looking for. Always add relevant portfolio items or examples or any kind of social proof to to your proposal to make sure that the client can see the proof of what you're saying you can do. Anything would work. You have done a video on something, you have a website that you can show, a design that you can show, some writing that you have done. No matter what kind of project that you're applying, you need to make sure that you have something relevant to show to the client. It doesn't have to be the same work that the client is asking you to do, but something along the line so the client can see that you have the right kind of knowledge. So, no cookie cutter proposals. Make sure that you have any portfolio items in that. And also, I would really recommend you to start to add a conversation starter in it. So, for example, in my proposals, I am really interested in getting to know where people are from, and I also know quite a lot about a lot of national parks around the world. So if somebody lives near a national park, a lot of times I would talk about that. Somebody would have mentioned something specific, some kind of problem that they have, and I've read a book about it or a blog post about it, or have done a have taken a course about it. I would link the client to that. uh, in your overview, the profile that you make on Upwork, always add a few things about yourself, not just as a professional, but as a person also. Another thing is to create a video introduction for yourself. That would work amazingly because the client needs to see you. They need to see how confident you are. They need to see that you have excellent communication skills and you can explain something to them in a call also. So create a video introduction, create like a small video asking questions or explaining the project, or just something that tells the client that you are the right person for the job. So these are the things that you can do to make sure that your proposal stands out from the rest. Another thing is to make sure that you only apply to projects that have a smaller number of proposals. So if a job already has like 50 proposals, there is a chance that till the time the client comes to your proposal, they would have already hired someone. So it's always better that you apply to projects that have maybe less than 20 or 25 proposals. So there's a higher chance for you to getting hired. Yeah.
Perfect. And we also have, so Naiman Saab, you're asking if freelancing online is growing. So I was just like doing a very quick Google search. It says freelance workers have contributed dollar 1.3 trillion to the US economy. So, I mean, you can figure out how many zeros there will be in a trillion. So the economy is growing. And the reason is that hiring a resource on a full-time basis is often an expensive thing. And with the emergence of startup culture and smaller companies also integrating technology, looking at the branding more, looking at the websites development and content writing and these kind of things, legal issues, um, all this they would like to outsource. And like for instance, I'm sitting in Canada, and you also know the cost of hiring someone do a logo in Canada would be at least 500 times more expensive as compared to someone doing it in Philippines or India or Pakistan. So why not, or in Bangladesh? So a lot of people on Fiverr particularly are from Bangladesh, for instance, or in India and Pakistan as well. So that's a pretty normal thing. I hired someone work with me on my ebook, for instance, because I wanted someone to like organize it, edit it. I had the content. It was like $50. So it was for me. I was saving like my expensive time to make a little bit more money. So this is pretty good. The market size is growing, and it's all about how do we reach to that market size. And here I would actually go back to LinkedIn, for instance, for a while. Now, almost 20 million people on LinkedIn are listed under freelancers. So that's a big number, right? And given the fact that a lot of people don't even understand how LinkedIn works, um, those who would will make money. As simple as that. One of my followers who joined my webinar told me that he started implementing few things, and he's like a logo designer. And in a week, he actually got orders worth $3,100. And his issue was very different. His issue was not how to get orders. His issue was how to deliver those orders now, because now you have a commitment to the client. And this is also important. If you keep adding value, if you keep providing value to your clients, you will keep getting repeat orders, and you will get referrals, because those referrals then add real value to your profile. I think we have one more. Okay, now we have Noshin, and Noshin has been an amazing follower. She is a PhD candidate in Italy, and she's also my student, and now working on a profile diligently. And this is a question. Okay, appreciation. How much time does one have to invest in freelancing on Upwork as a beginner, keeping in mind that we have other work commitments too?
Yeah, so Noshin, this is the first thing that I said, that you need to have ample time. For someone who's starting out, you will need at least 4 to 6 hours every week to spend on keep on applying to projects, updating your profile, updating your portfolio, proposals, and stuff like that. So this is what you need initially when you are breaking into Upwork. But after that, it depends on what kind of work that you have. So I know a lot of people who work full time on Upwork, so they have 40 hours a week commitments on Upwork. Some people have less commitments than this. I have some meeting commitments every week on Upwork, so I spend around 5 hours working on Upwork, not more than that, because I run a lot of other things also. But I need to spend 5 to 6 hours every week on Upwork to make sure that I'm getting done with all my meetings and everything, because my work is mostly consultation related. So it depends on the kind of work that you get and what kind of work you are looking for. Upwork gives you the ability to filter jobs as per their hourly requirements also. So you can apply for jobs that are more than 30 hours a week or less than 30 hours a week. You can also apply to fixed price projects that do not have hourly commitments, and you can deliver the work as per the timeline that the client has given you.
Amazing, amazing. These golden nuggets that you're sharing today with us are going to help a lot of people who would watch this video later on as well, because the video will stay on my LinkedIn profile, and as well as on my Facebook profile and on YouTube channel. So you are actually adding a lot of value to those people. Faiza, thanks for your time. What is so okay, Abdullah? I know you're going to come back with another question. Is it possible to stand out in high competition niche for a newbie? This is exactly
Uh,
what you said. Don't get into high competition.
Yeah, you can absolutely, but if you are someone who is new to that, so what are you new at? Are you new at the job, like the work itself, or are you new at the platform? So, for example, someone like myself or Hamad Saab or a lot of other people in the chat who have years and years of experience of a field, when they go to Upwork, they are new to platform but not new to work. So they have plenty of things to show for, to give proof to the client that whatever they are saying, they actually know that. If you are new in skill, then you need to polish your skill and build a lot of samples. So if you don't have a portfolio, I also saw that he asked about not having a portfolio. So if you don't have a portfolio, samples. Either you are designing, you are writing, you're doing whatever you want to do. You need to build work samples and put them somewhere in a way that you can show to the client. For some people, a portfolio on Google Drive will work really well. For some people, having a website is important. For some people, if you're working in design, then Behance. If you are a writer, then maybe Medium. If you are a developer, then maybe GitHub. So there can be a lot of ways for you to build a portfolio, and the portfolio can have real clients work or an imaginary clients work. So when you build a sample, you're basically working for an imaginary client. So you can set up an imaginary client, do the work, upload it there, and then show the client that this is the work that I've done. In most cases, they are not going to ask you, okay, who this client was, or can we get a referral from there or stuff like that. They just want to see that the work is there and you have done it and you're knowledgeable enough. So polish your skill set by building a lot of work samples and collect them as at a single place so that you can show it off. And you can definitely stand out in a high competition niche. The world is way too big, the pie is way too big, everybody can get a slice of it if you work, if you work smartly. And I would still recommend that do not get into niches that are very very basic. So for example, I am a content writer or I'm a graphic designer. You can basically specialize that niche by saying that I am, a technical writer who does user guides, or I am an author, who does ghostwriting, or I am, a content writer that basically writes in lifestyle, or whatever you want to write in. So you can basically create a niche out of that. On in graphic design, you can work on maybe post designing, or you can work on maybe logo designing or flyers or brand identity. So you can create a niche out of any of the areas that are usually very highly saturated. But as long as you add some kind of speciality and some kind of industry to it, it becomes niche, and then you will start getting a lot of work.
Yeah, so what I gather from it is that you can actually create your own niche into a highly competitive environment as well. And here I give you my own example, Faiza. Uh, a Desi guy who doesn't even speak English the way Americans or the Canadians speak. I started my journey as a consultant, as a LinkedIn coach. Um, what I'm bringing to the table is something which others are not bringing, and only those who work with me would know that. And that one thing which is continued attention, like my personal attention and continued relationship with my client, is what is bringing me more clients. Like for Abdullah and so many others who are watching here at the moment, uh, they have done my course. Like you pay, you do the course, and most of the time you're done with it. But in my case, any student that comes to my network or become my student is going to be my student forever without paying me anything additional. So that is so I'm actually, what I'm trying to say is that it's a competitive niche, but within that niche I've created another competitive advantage for myself that others are not offering. So this is a very, like, a basic example of what you do. Actually, while we are talking, I've just developed a course, uh, which is the foundational course for freelancers and content creators, and it's going to be in Urdu, so Hindi and Urdu speakers can take that course, because I was getting a lot of requests from people who follow me, is to develop something in Hindi and Urdu. So I said, yeah, it was a little bit of an interesting challenge, but I've created the course, and this is exactly what I've actually coached in the course. How do you create that value? That value creation is really important, and this is exactly what Umar says. You need to compete on value, but by the time you will be able to show your value, or the process of showing your value is what you just said, Faiza, create your portfolio. And at times, there are tons of people who are looking for services, and they don't want to pay for it, like within your own network. So if you are brave enough, you just go and put it on your LinkedIn, on your Facebook. uh, you're willing to do branding logos, or you're willing to do something that you do well for free. You won't charge anything, and you will see 5, 10, 20 people may come to you, and you just do their work, and in return you just need one recommendation, right? This is all what you need. And that will actually um, kind of get you an endorsement from a client going forward. So this is great, Faiza, but thanks for giving us your time. I keep doing it. So I keep doing a Thursday podcast. Only if I'm doing a coaching or something, that's the day when I don't do it. And the idea is that we can actually help people think through. And if we can do that, we are actually doing a lot of interesting community service for people who are looking for that information, and listening from those who have been there, done that, have been very successful, is such an awesome feeling. So your last closing remarks, and then we'll close the session, Faisal. What would you suggest? Like maybe two or three things that you would suggest to anyone watching this session and wants to become a freelancer, a successful freelancer. What are two or three things that you would suggest?
Yeah, first of all, identify your niche. What exactly do you want to do? Something you are passionate about, and something you are good at, and something you really enjoy doing, and something you can think is sellable. So find that. Find a lot of information about how to use the platform, what exactly is the platform on YouTube. So if you are interested in Fiverr, Hisham Server is the person to go to. You can just go to his YouTube channel and you can learn all about Fiverr there. If you want to learn about Upwork, you will find a lot of information on my YouTube channel. I'm not very active at YouTube, but you will just go and search my name on YouTube and you will find any of the Upwork sessions that I've done that can help you. I also do so if you are a woman and you want to learn freelancing, then we have a non-profit program called Code Girls that can teach you freelancing. If you are a woman and you are not from technology background, and if you want to learn freelancing, then you can go to Caterpillars. You can learn freelancing. I only have programs for women right now, but for the gentlemen, you can reach out to me, ask me a question if you want, and YouTube, you will find out Upwork. I can share the link of my Upwork profile also if you want to take a look at it. And you can just go to faizayousuf.com, my website. You will find a link to my Upwork profile there. Take a look at that. Take a look at it. Learn from it. And if you have any questions, just reach out. Happy to help. Yeah,
Amazing, amazing. This is tremendous information, and so learning is something that we all should really be focusing at. The best investment that you can make in yourself is by investing in learning, and once you learn something, then you can actually put that learning into work. Whether you're doing a job or a freelancer, ultimately, your skills will help you reach to wherever you want to reach to. So thank you very much, Faiza. I think in the comments section you can share your website address as well as your YouTube channel, and anybody who is interested and enthusiastic enough to learn LinkedIn, just to get the awareness, I've got 18 short courses available on my own YouTube channel, which I'm going to share with you. You can subscribe to Faiza's channel and my channel as well. And yeah, so stay active. I think if you are in a continuous learning mode and you're really interested in investing yourself, I don't think anybody can stop you from growing as a freelancer or as a professional throughout. So Faiza, thank you for your time and all the best for the next strides that you're going to make into your journey. I think we all have uh, to keep doing good things, great things, keep sparing times for others to understand how things are done in the modern world now. So with that, thank you very much. If you could stay here, I'll just put you at the backstage to
sure.
end the session just for 2 minutes, please. With all that, follow Faiza. She is an awesome resource for all of us, very helpful. And with that, thank you very much, Faiza, for your time. All right, then. I hope you had enjoyed the session, and I'll keep bringing some amazing guests throughout my journey on LinkedIn. And this broadcast goes onto my LinkedIn, my YouTube channel, as well as on my Facebook. On my YouTube, I am putting out some interesting content about LinkedIn and how you can use LinkedIn effectively and grow yourself. The full program is, of course, is a paid program, and it's a program that can transform your approach to LinkedIn and help you make money using that platform. With that, thank you very much. Hamas Siddiqui signing off from Toronto, and stay connected. Follow me. Share this podcast with other people you think will benefit from it, and keep contributing. You become a giver, you will grow. Bye bye for now.